we've talked in the podcast. Are you interested in breathwork, psychedelics, altered states, or how does that connect at all?
No, psychedelics are awesome. I have a lot more experience with mushrooms. So like psilocybin has been, I'd say I'd put it, I read the Michael Pollan book, right? How to Change Your Mind. And I'd say, just like a lot of people in that book, like I'd put mushrooms probably in some of the top 5 experiences of my life. Profound, enduring. Like I feel like they stick with me. And there have been a lot of talks around how, again, they can serve as a catalyst to awakening. And so for someone who's in the right state of mind or in the right, has enough stability, mental stability to do it well, or to do it without risk, I'd say it's great. And for me, I found it to be, just profoundly interesting. I don't know. How about you guys? Are you guys partakers?
Oh yeah. Did we
I
not
talk about it too
this
much
when we talked the first time?
I think we might have. I don't remember. I don't know.
We're deep in it. Not as deep as like 10-year shamans, but
not a shaman.
big supporters. At least quarterly practicers,
and the future of Charisma on Command, or the entity that was Charisma on Command, I think is a psychedelic retreat center that I am very involved in. I don't know that I'll be the shaman, but I think that experiencing the transformative thing is amazing, and watching people experience psychedelic transformations it's just that watershed moment of like, oh my God, all the shit I was worried about it just pales in comparison to watching this person break through or even experience difficulty. It feels so much more real. Which is what's strange, because I called them.
No, that's great.
I mean, everybody, myself included, calls them hallucinogens. And what's funny is it's the realest thing or some of the realest things that I've experienced are in and around those experiences. So that's very much.
I feel like the feelings are very real. The visuals. There was what's her name? She was on the Tim Ferriss podcast. Is it Elizabeth? Can't remember her last name. Eat, Pray, Love writer.
Gilbert.
Elizabeth Gilbert. So she spoke about psychedelics and mentioned that, she really for a long time felt that they were truth. Like she had found capital T truth in them. And then when sober, sort of reevaluated what she had seen and experienced and realized they were just that. They were visions. They were for her at least, they were just temporary trances. They weren't real. And so her having to separate those two pieces. And so I kind of land in the middle. I think maybe between the two of you guys, where I'd say you really experienced capital T truth potentially, or have seen things. And she says that's all baloney. It wasn't real.
I think Ben thinks that, right?
Well, no, here's my thing. It's like, is there a chance that these plants somehow mystically disconnect you from your body in a way that you experience truth with the capital T, such that when you think you are the universe, you're actually experiencing what your existence will be post-death? No ego, you are part of the universe, universal energy. Or the same way that you drink alcohol and it does something in your brain that makes you feel a certain way, and if you drink enough, you'll get double vision or whatever. Do you take these and then they release chemicals in your brain, and then you see things that are being caused by your own brain and have nothing to do with anything except for your own brain? And what I've come to is no one can convince me of either with 100% certainty.
Sure.
And it doesn't really matter to me which one it is.
Yeah.
So that's where I land. It's
that's great.
This is still, if it's only in my own brain, I'm seeing my blind spots, moving past my trauma, creating neural synapses and connections that would not be possible without psychedelics, and then moving forward with a brain that is improved for empathy and removed from or released from the anxiety and trauma. It's like, great. Or is it the fact that I kissed divinity that makes it so that I go forward with more empathy and remove my trauma? Who cares? Like, why? I'm not going to stress. I'm not going to die on this hill. I'm not going to, and I don't feel a need to believe it's capital T truth, nor do my ego doesn't demand that I reject that there's some percentage chance that I'm kissing divinity. I just don't care personally. The experience is what it is, and it's good for me in the ways that I enjoy, which is the increased empathy,
that concept of kissing divinity, I think that's a lot of what my Zen practice has become. In the Zen meditation practice, you enter into a state which is a state where there is no sort of time or space, cause or effect, name or form. It's just sort of free floating ether or substance, right? That we're all part of. And you connect with that within a meditation, you connect with that. The idea is to return to like what's really here. And you're experiencing the interpenetration of those two things, of like that experience of this whole substance and divinity, or whatever we call this, this material, and what's really here in front of us, where there is cause and effect, and there is substance and form, and there is, cause and effect. It's things that are you're here in the world. And it's like the reintegration of those two pieces. But like that touching of divinity, I think that's the piece that has taken me 6, 7, 8 years of meditation practice to experience. But that happened in one night the first time I took mushrooms. That same exact feeling, that sensation of touching it. And there's a metaphor that's used by Thich Nhat Hanh. He's a Vietnamese thinker. He talks about the water and waves as this example, that we all are waves. So think of us in the ocean, we're waves. And we become sad that we're cresting and growing, but we all know that we're going to die. We're going to hit the shore, we're going to end, and our life as a wave will be over. And that some waves are bigger than us, and we feel like we're the small wave, and there's big waves and small waves, and there's waves that never get noticed, and there's waves that get surfed. But when we think about it all, the substance is that we're all just water. And so it doesn't matter, like the time span of life and death of a wave, of being big or small, it does not matter. It's perfect in the way that it is, and it's just water. And I think of like psychedelics and the practice as a wave touching to the idea that we are just water. And so you get that occasional touch and glimpse of it, and knowing that we're water, then all of a sudden it's like you mentioned, Charlie, like everything else just sort of falls apart, like it falls away. The pressures don't seem as real or as big, because you realize that we're all connected. It's all the same.
Yeah. No, and I don't know how you guys feel about this, but besides capital T, truth with a capital T, there's reality with a capital R, and you had mentioned you go into this experience and then you come back to reality. And maybe Charlie says, none of this is what you consider reality. Reality is only when you're up with no ego and there is no Charlie Hooper. And then there's other people who say, this is a simulation. So actually what you experience on psychedelics, that's not reality with a capital R. What you experience off of it, that's not reality with a capital R. You have no functional memory of ever having reality with a capital R. And I come back to the same thing with, is it divinity or is it purely existing in my neurons, which is fine. Okay, maybe I don't know which one's reality with a capital R. Maybe I'm like some sort
of
weird
Zen Buddhist
alien goat creature hooked up to a thing.
But the totality of it, it's all real.
Sure.
It's all reality.
And I guess to me, if it's a simulation, or this is reality with a capital R, or this is some hallucination of universal consciousness, and I'm still going to live the same way, which is I'm going to try to have empathy, release my anxieties, contribute to the world. So I come back to the same thing with that one, which is I don't want to bicker about when you say, is this, and then you come back to reality. No, this isn't. It's like, I don't care. Because you can experience the kissing divine, you can experience the living in the 3D world. If this is a simulation, at some point you'll come out of it. So I don't feel like there's an advantage to that fight that I see some people get really fired up about. I don't know how you guys feel about it.
What the hell do we know? Yeah.
I share your I don't know. I share your not wanting to bicker. Where we might differ is that I think you said I don't care, and I care a lot. So like it's not something that if other people agree, or like I am at the same place of who fucking knows, but I'm supremely interested. To me, it seems like the most important,
I think,
direction I could move in is to try to understand.
I think whichever one is the capital R, you'll inevitably find and can't speed your way to. I actually think no amount of ayahuasca ceremonies gets you there faster. You'll just get there when you die. I guess you could, if you jump in front of a bus, you'll get there faster.
And even that's faster as we call it, 3D world time,
in
which
time.
is
no. But so in terms of who cares, and you're saying it's very important to me. And again, maybe it's because I have a framework of, is this actionable? I guess that underpins a lot.
Exactly.
Of my
your axiom is, how does it? You've kind of presumed that this world is the most important plane of existence, and what will I do about it?
Let's say that I'm the water. I said that I'm a wave. The wave is unimportant, but I'm not going to crash any faster, even if I acknowledge that I'm not the wave and I'm the ocean. I'm not going to speed up my trajectory to shore. So
I think that's a great way of thinking about it.
It's not something I pursue, I guess. I don't pursue that.
But there's no duality. Like we clearly all care about it, like in the sense that we care because we're interested. We care that it helps open our awakening. We care that it feels like it's helping us see with a better perspective. But What the answer actually is, I don't think, to me, is as important. We can sit with the unknown, and that's comfortable and that's cool. Mm-hmm. But yeah, psychedelics have been, I think they're very, very interesting. But I've also heard the warning. I've seen friends and know of people who have family members who have experienced, bad experiences where they weren't ready and they've entered into states of deep depression or schizophrenia as a result of whatever, I think, psychedelic treatment or practice, whatever you call it.
I do too, and I know that some people are pre-wired for a bad experience, but for the person I know that had a bad experience, I actually question if it was the setting and the shaman. I know someone that I think was actually on the road to getting something from their experience and literally got up and ran, just sprinted away, never really came back, and then blamed it for months of anxiety and bad mental health. And I question, his version would be that ayahuasca messed him up. And my version would be how he did ayahuasca
and
messed him up. Because he didn't have
the support that he didn't have.
Yeah, because he didn't have a schizophrenic break. Like I know there's some people that if you just take a psychedelic, you'll have a schizophrenic break and you have to sense out. There's, different things that can maybe forewarn you if you're wired like that or not. But he didn't have that. What he had was afterwards a lot of anxiety and emotional unsteadiness. And so, he thinks he's one of these people that's wired for the danger. But I actually think if I had to place money on it, that it was the setting and shaman that led him to a bad experience. So I think it's really, to his point about doing a center.
Your warning is well taken though, because we often we can get up on our bully pulpit super excited about it while forgetting that we have a diverse audience of thousands of people. And
it's not right for everybody. I think that's, I really don't think so. There's Trudy Goodman runs Insight LA, and her brother, so she actually ran an event on psychedelics and awakening. So she runs Insight LA, is a very, very big meditation group, very important. And her brother had a very bad experience, and I think had psychotic episodes as a result and never really fully recovered. This is now 20, 30, 40 years ago, but just for some people, it's not the right thing. I think it's responsible to kind of think that way, to say that. But if you do feel like you've got that foundation, you feel secure and safe, it can be fascinating. But set and setting is crucial. But I'm so curious to hear more about the center and things that you're thinking about. That's interesting,
dude.
It's a big responsibility.
We got to get you out there, man. We'll do it. So
where is this?
So I'll give you the brief synopsis of it. It's illegal right now, so we can't do it.
We did talk about this. That's right, Ben. I do remember this now.
So briefly, Oregon made psilocybin legal, but it's going to be 2 years till the licenses start, even then, you have to have been an Oregon resident. So I want to do it in the U.S. I don't want to upend my life in order to do it.
Peru.
And exactly. I think it's important that I am nearby and there and all of those sorts of things. So we're just very carefully waiting. We're building an audience. We're putting it out there that this is something we're interested in. I feel like I'm getting a ton from it. I'm so much a student. I'm actually going to be taking in June, I'm going to do my first facilitator training, which is to say that I will be in the room with a trained person and somebody else will be having their experience. And I will be the student driver, if you will. We both have steering wheels and mine is the primary one, but if I get in trouble, it's like, I'm taking over.
Is the person doing it someone you know?
It will be someone that I meet and that we discuss.
It's not your sister or your girlfriend?
No, it's going to be someone else going through the training. So it's kind of like haircutters cutting each other hair.
Okay,
so we're all going to get bad haircuts.
Got it.
It's what's going to happen
I got you.
At the end of this. But so I am looking forward to and nervous for that. That's going to be very interesting.
Sounds
to be
cool.
On
it's a big responsibility. Just
yes.
You know
and
that.
Again, I'm the student driver. I'm under no illusions that I'm the guy that's actually like I'm at the Fisher Price steering wheel, which is I'm driving daddy's car type thing. So in any event, man, this has been a fantastic conversation.
It's been so fun.
Hope that you guys enjoyed that clip. If you want to see more like this and have us do more podcasts, we are 100% funded by our generous patrons. And if you'd like to contribute, there's a link in the description, and we'll have one pop up on the screen right here so that we can do more podcasts where we have fun conversations and hopefully some deep ones like this. Either way, hope that you enjoyed the video, and I will see you in the next one.